Hello, good afternoon. My name is Bexabe Paula, and I'm here to talk about death by weapon and prevention. I want to inform to my audience today about four major ways to prevent children's death by weapons. The four major things you must do if your child plans suicide. Talk to your children about suicide and reassure them that you love them. Eliminate all daily weapons or additions from your home, including guns, knife, pills, and seek a professional help immediately. Okay, how many of you know a children or teenager who ever want to commit suicide by weapon? The leading cause of death among black teen age 15 to 19 in 2008 and 2009 was gun homicide. For white teen 15-19, it was a motor vehicle accident, followed by gun homicide in 2008 and gun suicide in 2009. Well, for those of you who know someone, even an adult, committed suicide, today I'm here to tell you how to prevent them from actually committing it. One major way to prevent children's death and suicide by weapon is talk to your children. In the organization website of the American Academy of Pediatrics, www.aap.org, in the 1996 article, it states that you should always speak to the young teenager and always remind then you love them and care for them and don't be scared to use the word suicide. In another article day in 1906 from New York Amsterdam News, allowing to author Armstrong and Williams, who are part of the Centers of Disease Control, also stresses the fact the family member or friend should talk to the child and no way for the child to come up to them to talk about it, because around that time it will be too late. Okay, in the New York Amsterdam News article, it states that if you speak to the child, it shows you are conscious of their problems and you care for them, even though sometimes the person can feel indifferent. So now that we talked about one major way to prevent death and suicide, which is speak to the children, let's talk about another way to prevent children's suicide, removing all lethal weapons, chemicals, and additions. Another major way to prevent child death or suicide is removing all lethal weapons from the jumpsuit reach. In the nursing article dated December 2006, written by nursing faculty Murphy and Catherine, states when a suicide adolescent has any access to a gun, the gun becomes a daily solution for this problem and will use the gun to commit suicide. The article also states that the gun is the most common weapon used in America to commit suicide between adolescents and adults. In 1908, 50% of teens committed suicide with a gun. In the organization website of American Academy of Pediatrics, the article states that one more step to preventing suicide is to eradicate all daily weaponry when you have a suicide young. This includes any pills, firearms, ropes, and kitchen utensils. In the article, it also declares that male children are more prone to using firearms to commit suicide, while females usually use medication pills. Can you believe that? Now that we talk about children's suicide and the importance of removing weapons to prevent it, Let's talk about how look for immediate help can prevent children's death or suicide. A major way to stop child suicide is to seek help from a professional. In the New York Amsterdam news article, it says to get immediate help for the juvenile, he or she or the parents or friends can call to the National Suicide Helpline, which is 1-800-SUICIDE. Remember that, 1-800-SUICIDE. All calls are confidential, so the teams doesn't feel uncomfortable and could get that help right away and save his or her life. In the organization website of American Academy of Pediatrics, the article says to seek professional help either from a therapy or, in the article, cases the child's pediatrician, so they can guide you and the child to the right direction. Also, the article explained that seeking for professional help can lead to a lot of patient treatment for the child. So it can help him more if necessary that they are hospital-based treatment program available for the troubled child too. For the nursing article, they have 3 different types of medical help, one being behavioral psychotherapy. This is when the therapy help the patient, it being the suicidal child or teen, identify its regular reaction to certain things in life and ultimately change his ways and thinking that certain way, therefore changing his emotional response because the behavioral therapy is the belief that emotions are learned to respond, which help the patient. The other type is psychotherapy, which is pretty basic. They link up certain trauma or abuse the minor has gone through that will make him want to kill themselves, and they resolve the whole things through much easier say I don't. For finish is medication for deeply depressed children that do need this antidepressant so that they don't fall back to the suicide phase. Support common sense gun safety measure for the nation. That's another one. Stronger federal laws can help protect more children from gun violence by closing the gun show the loophole. So the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act require federally licensed gun dealers to conduct background checks on every sale. But a loophole in the law allows private dealers to sell guns without a license and avoid the required background checks. This loophole accounts for a large share of all gun sales, especially at gun shows. It is estimated that over 40% of all guns in this country are sold by unlicensed sellers to buyers who did not have to submit to a background check. 18 states have attempted to block the loophole by requiring background checks for some category of gun sales not covered by the Brady law. Congress must require criminal background checks of anyone who attempts to purchase a gun. restituting the ban on assault weapons. The Federal Assault Weapon Ban signed into law in 1994, banned two factors and sale of 19 type of semi-automatics military-style assault weapons and high-capacity ammunitions. Magazine that contain more than 10 rounds. So ammunition, but it's expired in 2004. Legislation now pending in Congress, the Large Capacity Ammunition Fitting Device Act, HR. Extremely a restriction on people convicted of violent misdemeanor or a violent act as a juvenile. Under current law, a conviction for a violent misdemeanor or doesn't prohibit a person from purchasing or possessing a gun. A loophole exists for people. I'm sorry. So what we have today? What is the conclusion of what we have today? So to recap everything, I have just said there are many different ways to help your teen during this hard time when dealing with thoughts or suicide. But the three major effective ways to prevent your teen from committing suicide is talk to them. Remove all dangerous items from the meantime and to get professional help. This is very important. I can't stress this enough. Thought or suicide is a disease that can we prevent our teen from having a preference for the weapons, but we must all put in our part too. Whether you be a friend or parents or acquaintance, so please help the team or inform someone because it won't go away on its own, please. So any questions? So I hope that you like my information that I give you today. If you want, you can reach some sources by email, by internet. Sorry. You can go to www.children's defense, or you can go to American Academy of Pediatrics, or you can go to the www that I said before, AAP.org, Advocacy Child Health Month, they prevent suicide. So this is all for today. I'm glad that you like the information that I gave you today. So good night to everybody and enjoy your day, the rest of your day. So goodbye.